Ew, what stinks in here?
The Litterbox is the part of the show where I dig through the stupid news and I only bring you back the very best. I don't want you sifting through stupid news and making yourself dumber. I'll dive in. I can't get any dumber. So I go into the stupid news and I only bring back the really best stuff, the stuff that you want to know. And I want to get started with the Kentucky Derby. So the Kentucky Derby was May 1st. The winner was a horse named Medina Spirit. Now, Medina Spirit was recently disqualified and will not be crowned the Kentucky Derby winner after testing dirty for drugs. That's complicated, but I guess there are certain drugs that are illegal in horse racing, and Medina Spirit was loaded up on one of them, which is like an anti-inflammatory. The trainer claims they have no idea how those drugs got into that horse. I certainly wouldn't shoot my horse up with drugs. That's not something I would do. This same trainer has had 5 medical violations since May of 2020. So there's probably a pretty good chance he definitely injected that horse. They are waiting for more test results to absolutely confirm it, but as of right now, that horse is disqualified and probably will not get the prize or the money, pending those test results, obviously. Medina Spirit would be the first horse since 1968 to be disqualified. That horse in 1968 also disqualified because of drugs. All these horses addicted to drugs. And do you remember, it was on Morning Announcements, I think, a little while ago, I talked about this dog in New Zealand who won a dog racing championship and then was later disqualified because they found meth in its system. Everyone's gonna be like, oh yeah, don't dope up the animals before they race. I'm on the opposite side. I kind of love if we could just take these animals and make them the biggest, strongest beings possible. Let's really push the limits of science here, and then let's watch those animals race. I feel the same way about human athletes. Like, if you're gonna play baseball, I'd love to see everyone just doped up, working to the maximum human scientific potential. It sounds great. Let's throw a bunch of Hulks out there onto the field. Let's watch them play baseball. I'm telling you, it would make sportscapal much more watchable. I might watch sportscapal if everyone was on drugs. Turns out I'm gonna have to start watching animal racing because they're the only ones that actually are on drugs and winning championships. Beachgoers in California were horrified when they stumbled upon a fish that had washed ashore. Now, obviously, fish die in the ocean and wash ashore. That's nothing new. This fish, however, was particularly spooky. Let's take a look here. So this is a football fish. It is a type of anglerfish that you see down in the deep, dark ocean. You see the little lure there on the front of his head. It has the bioluminescent bacteria that make it glow, and that attracts other fishies to it. And then when those fishies get within reach, he uses those super sharp teeth to reach out and Now, the reason this is so nuts is because this fish should not be here. This pitch black fish from the very depths of the ocean, they're almost never found above 3,000 feet below sea. They're usually 3,000 feet or lower into the ocean. So if it died, and it would probably just sink or get eaten or whatever by the time it rose all the way 3,000 feet up back to the surface. It's crazy that this got found, and they're gonna obviously put it on display because this is such a rare instance. It's such a rare animal, but the crazy thing to me is that this can't be a good sign, you know? There's no way. I know that with the ice caps melting and the oceans warming up and rising, we're starting to see a lot more stuff from the bottom of the ocean coming up, so maybe that's why, which is not a good sign. Or, and hear me out, there's been a Godzilla at the bottom of the ocean for thousands of years. It has finally awoken from its slumber and scared all the fish at the bottom of the ocean to coming to the top. And soon we're gonna have a Godzilla war. I don't even know how to deal with a Godzilla. How do you do that? And finally, this is really horrifying and gross. John Wayne Gacy's house recently sold, and it went for much below the asking price. Now, this is not the original house that was there. If you don't know, John Wayne Gacy, serial killer, one of the most infamous ones, killed 33 boys at his house in Illinois. That house was demolished in 1979. They didn't let that one stick around. But a house was built like 7 years after that one was demolished on the same property, and it hit the market in 2019 with an asking price of $459,000. It sat there on this market where houses are going like the next day. If you decide to sell your house, you're gonna get a cash offer for $100,000 above asking price tomorrow. Like, the houses are selling like crazy. Not this one. No one wants to live in John Wayne Gacy's haunted house. It's been on the market since 2019. It finally sold for $395,000, like $75,000 below asking price. I don't know if the owners know that it's John Wayne Gacy's former property / mass burial site. But in Illinois, I do know, I found out, you're not required to disclose if a murder occurred on the property. Plus, that one happened so long ago that, you know, who's gonna just come right out and say it? But I feel like if you're moving into a place, you should at least Google it. It shouldn't be hard to find out that that's where 33 children were buried. And I know it's not the original house, still haunted. Sorry, those spirits are tied to that land forever. I don't even believe in ghosts, and I know that that house is haunted. Here's why I'm so confident that that land is haunted. There's a house nearby in my neighborhood that I walk my dog past, and the old house that was there scared the bejesus out of this dog. We'd have to cross the street and walk around the house because he hated being near it. I'm like, oh, that house is haunted. Something bad is happening in that house. They recently demolished that house, and they've been building a new one for the last couple of months. The dog still will not go anywhere near that house, and I feel like some sort of moral obligation to go up to the people building it and be like, hey, you know, just so you know, this place is definitely haunted. My dog, who I'm pretty sure is haunted somehow from the desert, he's just a desert ghost that I picked up. He definitely thinks your house is haunted. Am I morally obligated to tell them, hey, pretty sure you got a ghost in here. Pretty sure there's a ghost tied to the land. Do I have to tell them that, or should I just avoid it? Tell me in the comments if I should warn them that their house is haunted because my dog doesn't like it.